Welcome to SenseTime Spotlight session, and welcome Dr. Xu Li. So today, 20 minutes, lots of topics to go over. I hope by the end of our session, the audience here will better understand your business, how you're using facial recognition, object recognition technology in sectors like retail, driverless technology as well. But given the times, the themes of our times, I wanted to start by asking, how is the trade war between the US and China affecting the collaboration between Chinese and US companies?
First, thank you. Thank you for the question. And actually, I think being a Chinese company, we know that a lot of Chinese companies are currently developing their own technologies as a kind of second choices. But to us, I think the most important thing is to create the platform for idea exchange and collaborative exchange. We all know that for technological breakthrough, the most important thing is we are actually expecting the so-called unexpected breakthrough. The unexpected breakthrough typically comes from the international exchange. So that's what SenseTime we are focusing at, to create a platform for better international exchange.
So you're still striving for collaboration, but you're also saying that a lot of Chinese companies are creating an alternative. How is SenseTime positioning itself during these times?
Yeah, so usually when we are doing AI kind of applications, we typically focus more on several verticals and doing vertical integration. That's what you say, that most people are creating their alternatives, for example, build their chips. But as SenseTime, so as a platform company, what we did is always linking, build a platform between academia and industry, between East and West. So just last month, we actually create another AI forum and trying to bring guests from all the world, from Qualcomm, from US, from MIT, and trying to discuss what the best way to kind of build the next generation AI for the best society.
Right, and when you mentioned that you are building a chip, what kind of chip are you actually building here?
So we are, because we actually focusing on providing the training platform. They're called SenseParrots. It is a platform that helps people to leverage their own data. So that's why SenseTime's business model is providing our business partners the capability to build their own AI applications and to face in different verticals. So, and among all the customers, we also got the demand that they should the tailored chip for specific applications, for example, for healthcare, for autonomous driving. So that's why we are also trying to build our computing platforms for that purpose.
Application-specific chips.
Application-specific
Well, would these
chips,
be an alternative to NVIDIA chips, for example?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, NVIDIA chip is a kind of more general. They can deal with all kinds of applications, not only image, videos, but voices, and can deal with all kinds of demands from the market. But SenseTime is more focusing on our customers. So we are customer-oriented. When the demands in such verticals requires a very fast computation or very storage-intensive chip, so we are working in that direction. Yeah.
Right. I remember once when I was talking to your other co-founders, they mentioned that you specify in neural networks, and NVIDIA's GPUs are too comprehensive in a sense. Are you creating something that's more specific for neural networks in a sense?
Exactly. So we optimize the chip dedicated for visual understanding. So visual recognition, something related, also related cognitive. The most important thing is that dealing with video data, it is really memory intensive, and also you need a lot of exchange between chips. So that's why we are focusing on that direction. Yeah.
I see. Now, to take a step back, how much of this is triggered by the trade war? When you started this initiative to build your own chips, was that a reaction? How advanced did you start planning this?
Yeah, so actually we started doing that 2 years ago, much earlier before the so-called trade war. But the key is also, just as I mentioned, so most of AI application companies now trying to do the vertical integration. They just need to get more understanding of the fundamental layers. And as a leading company, SenseTime not only providing the applications, but also provide the training platform behind. So we are telling our customers how to define the way they use their data, how to manipulate a huge volume of data. So that's why we are doing this preparation 2 years ago. Yeah.
It seems you've been very wise. You foresaw this inevitable clash between the two superpowers 2 years ago. When will the chip be ready? When can we see it being applied to your technology?
Yeah. So I think we use it gradually. We have defined the different phases of the chips, and the first focusing on inference only, and then focus on training plus inference. Because we think, typically people think that when the AI system got launched, everything is done. But actually, for us, when the system is launched, everything is just getting started. Because you need using the data to retrain the systems and get it have better actually accuracy and performance on that particular scenarios. So that is what we call the training plus inference chip. It did. Yeah.
And is this done in-house, the research and the development? Is it in-house or by the startups that you're investing in?
So we also invested a lot of kind of companies within the ecosystem, but most of the part done within SenseTime. And actually, SenseTime is a very R&D heavy, intensive company. We spend more than 45% of total spending on R&D. I think it is a huge number.
I can see from the 200 PhDs that you've hired that are running the company right now. Taking a step back, SenseTime, we've been calling your company the world's largest AI company for quite some time. In the markets, two of your competitors have pulled the trigger. They're one is filing for an IPO, the other one is preparing for an IPO, we've learned. What about you? Because we've heard for quite some time that you were preparing for a pre-IPO round. What are the latest developments on that front?
Actually, we do not have the concrete plan for IPO, but actually we also have received a lot of interest from investors. That's why we also keep our investor posted. And more importantly, we are very willing to share our point of view of how AI can influence different industries. So that's why we also have non-deal roadshow from time to time. So if people are interested in AI ecosystem or also interested in AI in China, we are very willing to share our opinions. Yeah.
A non-deal roadshow, so a perpetual roadshow.
Yeah.
Last time when we reported about your valuation, you disclosed it was $4.5 billion. But since then, a lot of investors, including SoftBank, have come in. And we learned that the valuation has changed. Can you share more data on that?
Yeah, so $4.5 billion is last year's number. So this year, I think is early this year, so already over $7 billion US. Yeah.
Wasn't it more than 7.5?
Even higher, yes.
Even higher, okay.
I see. 7 billion.
And so you're saying right now you're keeping an open attitude to see how the markets will react. You don't know if this round, your perpetual roadshow, if it's going to be a pre-IPO round, or you might just go straight for the IPO.
So yeah, actually, we just mentioned we do not have decided. Yeah, so. We may think that, so currently, so if we would like to go IPO, we must have a very clear business model. So this has become the standing points for going IPO. But currently, I think the AI market is still very preliminary, so very premature. So, you know, most industries do not well prepared for the AI. They just don't know how to use AI to equip kind of their products and how to use AI to change their original business. So that's why I think it is quite premature. So it takes time to educate the whole market and tell them how to really use an AI tool. And I think SenseTime is actually we have developed a way, so tell them how to use an AI view to on how to develop their new products. So I think that we help them to do the AI revolution, changing their mind. So it still take a long time, I think.
Right. I do want to delve into your products and how you work with partners later in our conversation. But just to wrap it up, in terms of figures, we looked at McVie, and they said they have triple revenue growth last year, reaching $1 billion yuan in revenue. How do your figures stack up?
Yeah, speaking of figures, I think so. We every year we still enjoys 3-digit growth. Yeah, So
in terms of revenue.
In terms of revenue, profit, and also in terms of the market share, I think is growing really fast. So because SenseTime started maybe 5 years ago, and this October marks our 5th anniversary. So we are really young company, but we have a collegiate culture. So because most of our co-founders are from university, they are professors before, so that's why we spend a lot of effort on fundamental researches and how to combine the fundamental research and with applications. The business model called 1 + 1 + X. The one is fundamental research, the other is application research, and X is the kind of different verticals. So along that lines, I think we are really growing faster during the past several years. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine the human investment is very intensive. Are you cash flow positive?
Yeah, currently I think still not cash flow positive, but so we are profitable. Yeah, profitable.
I see. Because you're still in that expansion phase.
Because you need to spend a lot of money on building the AI supercomputer. So. For example, in Singapore, we also set up our first AI supercomputer, so help the local companies to using those computational resources to enhance, augment their own data understanding. Yeah.
Right. Well, we do have a poll right now. Can we pull up the poll, and in the audience, if you could take out your mobile phone and participate? So what is the first impression you get when you think about a Chinese AI company? Is it a competitor to US tech, surveillance tool for Chinese government, has an advantage in collecting data, or leading the world, or all of the above? And while we're discussing that, while the audience are sending in their answers, all of the above.
All of the above.
Okay, I see number 2, and the last one very popular. Are you surprised by their reaction?
Yeah, so I think maybe we should talk more about AI. Yeah. So what the AI application? For example, SenseTime is really helping to build the AI plus education, because I think AI is a new tool to understand the world. And previously, the programming programming courses is usually about deterministic way. They need human expert in the loop. But AI is another kind of view of thinking, because you don't need to know the rule. You actually prepare the data. Then the machine can generate the rules themselves. So that is the most beautiful thing. And it prepared another toolboxes for people to actually solve the new problems. Yeah. So that is very important. And also, I think today we are also focusing on the AI plus healthcare. So that is also new, but because previously people were only focusing on diagnosis. But I think if you want to get the whole data in the loop, so you should focus on diagnosis plus treatment, and also compatibility. Yeah. So it is the whole thing.
Yeah, education and healthcare are 2 really good examples of how you're applying your technology. And I think part of the reason a lot of the people don't understand Chinese AI companies is because they don't actually know what you're selling. So let's get a little bit into that. What is it actually that when you say that you're selling your products, like what are you selling a software to your partners? And once you sell that, what do they do with it? And do you have any channels to monitor how they're using your products?
So actually, the SenseTime is a company that we call we empower our customers by the AI technology. So what we sell in is solutions to help them to build their AI capability. For example, we provide the hardware, the training machine, and also the training platform, as well as toolboxes for them to better manipulate the data, not only traditional data, but the new data drawn from the videos and video content. So by doing so, the people can actually using our product to actually develop the new tools for their products. So that's what basically we call it the deep learning as a services. Yeah.
So let's say if there is a real estate developer in China and they want to improve the security in their building complex, they buy the software from you. What do they do next?
So for example, they have the platform, and they connected their video cameras and then train the data, and then they could actually draw a lot of information and insights from what we could provide. But the data is still live within their customers. That's what our philosophy. We just let our customers.
Can you see the data?
No, definitely not, because it's private cloud. So we provide that. Even we provide the SaaS services. We actually using the SaaS model, but not focusing on the data. There is a saying, so we are always talking to our customers. So our devices may know your company very well, but we don't, just like iPhone, right?
And do you have any way of monitoring what they're doing with your products, with the data, after you sell it to them? Do you have a back-end channel?
Yeah, no. So actually, most of the huge or giant companies, they leave their data within their own network. They will no longer. They wouldn't like to choose to put their data online even. So that's why actually for the tech provider or tool providers, you typically cannot access those kind of data. Even in Singapore, so I think we put the server locally, and also they have own account to access the data. So just like, so for example, Microsoft Outlook, you are using the Outlook services and using SaaS models, but actually nobody can really access those kind of data.
Right. But going back to our slide earlier, it does bring up a point of concern for a lot of people outside of China. So can we talk a little bit about what your relationship is actually like with the Chinese government?
Yeah, so basically no that tight relationship, but actually being a leading company there, I think we should have the responsibility to collaborate with the government, to regulators to come up with regulation. I think, so we are also part of the ethic group in the Minister of Technology department. Yeah, so technology department, though they come up with the code of ethics. Yeah, so I think that is most important things for a new technology such as artificial intelligence, because you may face various applications, but for most of applications, people just don't know what is the right thing to do with the new technology and so what can be done by those technologies. So that would work as a guideline for people to doing that. And within SenseTime, we are also working on the code of ethics. Yeah,
right.
Trying to help
establishing industry protocol.
Yeah, trying to help our customers and people to understand what should do and what the limit and the boundary of the existing technology. And also typically people kind of estimate the capability of AI, recent
right.
AI, because it's still working as a productivity tool. You can save cost and promote efficiency, but it cannot do most of the things people think they could do. Yeah.
Esther Wang, one of your senior executives, when she was at my panel last time, she said that you don't do business directly with the government. Is that still the case?
Yeah, so because we just make our business more healthier, for example, the recurring revenue, so we're dealing with SIs and dealing with some other enterprises, yeah, and maybe they actually serve the government. But
so they can still buy your products through a third-party provider. Mm-hmm. Do you ever worry that, because we keep seeing the cases where, even for companies in the US, they find their technology ending up in areas that are now really under strict monitoring by the US government. And are you ever concerned that one day you'll wake up and find your technology somewhere that is potentially under scrutiny by the U.S. government?
So that's why I think the whole ecosystem will work together. Just not only actually one company can do, but I think the company, for example, SenseTime, should collaborate with academia, collaborate with the regulators to work together on so what is the right thing, what is the code of ethics should do and should. So in China, there is a way typically where there is a new area. Typically, people say the government encourages companies to embrace the new technology first, and then come up with the regulations. But now, I think it is time to talk about the regulation. Yeah.
And can we call this a committee? What are some of the end results from these discussions about code of ethics for AI in China?
Mm-hmm. So,
what are the end results? Like, what are some of the
I think that it works progressively. So first, I think it is about the existing AI technology, but the regulations should not only work on the existing technology, but it should guide what should do or what should not be done in the future. So that we think it is a direction we will move progressively. Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you very much, Dr. Xu, and let's give him a round of applause. Our next session is going to be at 11 a.m., and we will take a break right now. Thank you.
Thank you.